Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you,
Get ready for the next battle, ladies, gentlemen, Zaydips, and those in between. My name is SPF Darklord, coming at you live here from IPL to bring you yet another SOS edition. But before we get to more of tonight's first match of the day, I am joined by a very good friend of mine here tonight.
It is good to be on the mic with you again, Dark. For those of you who do not know, I am Jolteon Jack. Happy to be back after a little bit of a break. It's summer. I'm doing some stuff traveling around the world, but I'm back here in Incadia for some wonderful games, starting off with our round one game, Jelly Squids versus PhotoSONthesis on Mahi Mahi Resort.
Yeah, I'm very eager to see exactly how these two teams kick it up. Of course, Jelly Squids, a bit of a more of a well-known name, consisting, at least from what I can tell off from today, Diamond, Sora, Noodles, and Mud, going up against PhotoSONthesis, who on their end they have Miruma, Inkling, Johan, and Seminar. So, Seminar, I know that's a buddy, that's a friend right there.
Hey. Always love it when you see the homies in the lobby, because then if they are playing good, you get to gas them up, and if they're playing bad, well, they can't fault you for doing your job. But let's relax here into our first game at the resort. After all right, Mahi Mahi is a very interesting. That is an aggressive comp right there. Holy jeez! Oh, that leader is going to be a problem. I can already tell due to how very short range Jelly Squids is. Jelly Squids, of course, is in yellow, and PhotoSONthesis is in blue. We're already seeing just a quick start from both teams, looking to get an early snipe off to the side here on these two Jelly Squid peeps just sitting off on the side, trying to get some paint down right here. They're trying to get a flank off. They managed to get one on the side of PhotoSONthesis. That's good. That makes it two right there. The duelie's just pushing in. Finally gets another, but they are still alive. They're chasing them all the way back to their own spawn, Dark.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start for PhotoSONthesis as they chase down that junior, allowing them to get a delayed pick off them to delay this entrance from Jelly Squids to not be able to have the tools properly to get a proper full team push here. And because they're constantly staggered, they're losing out on these fights. The water levels drop. The reslider is thrown out here, but is responding with a reslider of their own. 10 missiles being thrown about as well. But Jelly Squids has yet to been properly regrouped so far. They're constantly either at one or two players down, and PhotoSONthesis has a very good hold here.
Yeah, no, you'd never want to be in this little area right after jump down on Mahi. It's just very impressive to get to, and that Wavebreaker is doing an even better job. They get it to neutralize right here, looking to get enough paint in, but they're just not enough. Especially with the nerfs to Reef Slider earlier, we didn't see the pop. Where literally in any other previous patches in Splatoon, that Reef Slider would have flipped and extended this game at least for another minute. But that's it, folks. A minute and a half, less than.
Yeah, a very dominant holding from PhotoSONthesis right out the gate. Jelly Squids, I like the idea there of the junior going behind, pulling that attention, but the unfortunate fact of the matter was that you were pulling attention away while the rest of your team was already down. You had no way to actually have the rest of your team to try and push up against the disgruntled members of PhotoSONthesis with a potential 3v3 scenario. You know, you were a 1v 3-4 situation, pulling attention for no one, you know? So the idea was great, but in the actual execution of it, didn't really pan out too well.
Yeah, very, very much so. I also very much think the leader gave PhotoSONthesis just a humongous advantage on this map. They were taking a very aggressive stance with the leader because they got that wipe so early in the round that they could just stack up right there, wait for the water level to drop, and then get an even better position once they do that. We're moving to something that is dynamic in the sense of the mode itself requires more change, but the map itself is not going to change as we go about, which is going to be here on Undertow Spillway. I mean, if PhotoSONthesis wanted to bring the leader, this is not a bad map. I'd honestly say this might be an even better map for leader than Mahi was.
Yeah, no, I think the E leader has a lot of merit to staying here. What Jelly Squids has brought in the past game, it's a bit hard to say if they want to opt to try and swap things around here because it is a tighter map. It is a more close range map-ish, so you do have a lot more merit on your end to bring the same weapon lineup you had best in round, but also don't know exactly if they have anything in particular in their pockets to try and swing things around this time in this second game, you know, because a big difference is like you don't have zones, you don't need to rely on Reslider, you can swap that out to a more consistent special a la Booyah Bomb or Tri-Strikes, you know?
Yeah, also Tower on Undertow is a really awkward map for Reef. Obviously, the two side lanes are insane in the early start, but if you're not in mid, it's not like Rainmaker where you're going to be going up left side ramp and you can just easily Reef Slider into the enemy's base. This is, you're going around it. You're going to be underneath stuff. And the Reef Slider, while the hitbox is now much larger, it's still inconsistent when it comes to trying to get kills on enemies above you. I will suspect that the Dreadringer will stay. We might see the Crab Dread. I think that might be able to put some pressure on the leader, but we'll just have to see as we're going in right now, folks.
Yeah, it's start of the second game, and as a reminder for the folks at home here, we are in a best of 3, so if PhotoSONthesis does win this game here, they will be moving on with a win on this group series here, and of course, a few sweeping changes across the board here, the Blaster, the Octobrush, and the Dapple Dualies on the side of Jelly Squids. That's a good pivot, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, the new Octobrush as well allows them to have some staying power with that Kraken, assuming that they're able to get in right here. I also like to switch to Decav. A bubble on tower is always a great thing. I also just feel like Decav is very good. That's a very nice double splat right there, but it's been answered up by Cranberry right here, going around the back, looking for the kills, able to get it on the Blaster right there and buy time for the rest of their team to jump in. That's some great survivability. It really just shows how dominant Decav is. It's just such a versatile weapon. I'm probably going to go up right here for an offensive bubble, try to draw pressure from the Dread. We're going to see it right there that it's going to immediately get reefed.
Yeah, an attempt to try and get out Cranberry, but does not fail as the duel goes into the wake of Cranberry getting one. Can they get a second? Moving to look for the third. Are playing ring around the roots around this corner here with the Blaster. Dangerous game. They do get picked out, but in the midst of all that chaos, Jelly Squids does not find the footing to be able to push that tower. And once again, PhotoSONthesis has the advantage here, has the pressure to just keep this tower at the very least in a neutral state as they get their specials online.
Very much so. This mirror right there. Oh, a little bit off with that Reef Slider. If you popped it just a second earlier, you might have been able to get it. Hijinks right here. He gets one splat, barely survives that auto bomb. They are moving the tower right now, making it towards the second checkpoint as we're heading up here. Nice. That is a bad drop down right there and a great snipe by YF Ever. The jump in on the brush is going to get it as we're seeing here. Blaster just poking around, trying to get space. I realize Jelly Squid's just the amount of paint that PhotoSONthesis is able to output, mainly thanks to what I assume to be the end zap and the dapples, is just overwhelming right here. We do see 3 specials online for Jelly Squids right here. They need to do something with that, but with 2 people down immediately and this Kraken not really being able to do much, I don't think they're going to get a push here. Oh.
Yeah, it was a good position from Jelly Squids there, going 4 against the one lone player against PhotoSONthesis, but things didn't really pan out in the way they want. And now with a wipeout here, they're facing with this second checkpoint, threatening to be lost as bubblers being used. We have Tacticaler online. We see Wavebreaker out. The NZAP is down, but 3 goes down on the side of Jelly Squids, and there's momentum still going. Cranberry is on your platform, threatening from the off angle here as that tower is still going. That third checkpoint is probably going to go down here without any issue, and you're still just getting this ball rolling. Finally, 4 goes down here. Cranberry goes on a jump in, but the wipeout seals the deal as Jelly Squid is still alive, but on a thread of their life left.
Oh gosh, the E leader on tower on this map is just so oppressing right there. They made it through all the checkpoints, so they have easy ride back. We do once again see Jelly Squid, 3 specials on deck. They need to make sure that they survive long enough to use them. We see one going out right here, trying to get something. The Reef Slider coming out, that might catch one. It does not, but we're looking to get a setup. I don't think they're going to get a kill here. Bubble pass. Oh, beautiful double slash down right there from the blaster. That bubbler is not going to see too much use. Trying to go on the off angle right here, catch Cranberry. Unfortunately, mistimed it right there, allowing the leader to get him. Now the more offensive Kraken coming out right here, trying to protect their friends, but unfortunately they go down one at a time, and that jump is not safe.
Yeah, 1 by 1, Jelly Squids failed that push there, but they did make their marks, get down to 44 points remaining at that second checkpoint. It's not the outcome you might want, but it's still a good progress. But whether that progress can maybe convert into a steal of the lead is a different story to say here, folks, as we're in the final minute of this game. Restarted being thrown out by Jelly Squids to try and recover whatever they can. They get the E leader. Another player goes down from the end side. Jelly Squids just has the momentum here to swing things back into their favor. They take the tower and now rushing forward to try and clean things up. But Cranberry jumping into the bubbler from behind applies all pressure, and just the wind from Jelly Squid is just shut down.
God, the survivability that Decaf has with that lunge is absolutely insane. Oh my gosh, Cranberry out here surviving way longer than they have any right to, just stopping any momentum that Jelly Squids tries to establish right here. They can't play the trade game right now. They need to be able to get to some secure kills. They need to play together right now. We're just seeing the blaster try to get a kill with the splashdown over here. Unfortunately, the dread goes down along with the brush. It's just the blaster and the dualies. They try to get an off flank, not able to secure a kill. That Reef Slider is used. That might be useful here in this last 10 seconds that they're special down. Trying to go for it to trade right there. That's not what you want to see. Cranberry does go down, so they might be able to hold it. 2-1. No, their dread goes down to the NZAP, and PhotoSONthesis will secure this set 2-0.
Yeah, a good set there, and I gotta give it to Cranberry there from PhotoSONthesis, as they were able to try and save that 5 times fast. But no, Cranberry really putting in a lot of work there with the Decapitator to really just be an utter menace on the front line and even on the back line, especially with that last jump into Bubbler to get behind Jelly Squares to just destroy and humiliate, not humiliate,
it was not a humiliation.
No, it was definitely not humiliation.
Mutilate,
that's the word. But no, it was a good showing from PhotoSONthesis.
I mean, a mutilation from a decapitator is about an average experience, I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel anytime I go to the dentist. Yes, I am going to be mutilated today. We're seeing right now, obviously that was a rather fast set, but we do see some other sets have concluded, namely Darklord PEG has secured their set 2-0 over Golden Barracudas. That is dominating performance. Yeah,
Yeah, a good 2-0 on the one of the other matches in this group here. But we will be jumping over to a different group here, as our next match is properly getting ready right now as we speak, which I do, if I remember correctly, the next match we're going to be spectating here, folks, is no, I can't remember if it's no or not, but it's not 24 smelling going up against 11 feet 8 bridge of Theseus.
Lovely. Oh, I remember the God, I love Splatoon team names. They're the greatest thing to exist. And of course, the game is going to be on Hagglefish Market, the final destination of Splatoon, in my opinion. I know other people have different things, whether it's Battlefield or Final FD, but you know, we agree to disagree in this regard. Either way, we're gonna get to a deal here somewhere down in the market. I I really feel like this match is going to set the mood for how this set is going to go.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty safe bet to think. As for how these two teams have done so far in their first round, both teams went 2-0 against their opponents so far. So they have not having dropped a set yet. This will be a really important round here for these two teams to dictate who can actually keep up their win streak and who will be the first one to give the other the first loss. But of course, you know, losing your first game in the second round, not that big of a deal, all things considered.
No. We still got 2 more rounds here before bracket, so there's still plenty of time for any of the teams that you see or haven't seen tonight to make it all the way to there to still win the grand prize here at SOS, which is, I believe, just honor and fame, glory to the Squid gods.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think IPL has the funds or the economy to really do anything for prizing. Please don't come down on me, IPL staff. But no, we are doing a little bit of a wait here as teams, as players get into their matches here. But as you mentioned, we are going to be seeing Splatzone's Hacklefish Market as our first stage here, and it's a stage that I really much enjoy watching, very much enjoy playing. You know, it's a staple, and as you mentioned, people can dictate whether or not how they see this in different sort of terms, either being a final destination or whatever. But I think as Hacklefish Market stands, it's a tried and true stage, no matter where you play it or when you play it.
I feel like I never have like a bad time on Haggle. I definitely have a time where I get like absolutely destroyed on Haggle, but that's less so because of the map and more so just because I am not doing that great that day. You know, it'd be like that sometimes. Looking at the rest of the set here, Rainmaker Museum is always an interesting time because you can get a lot of points very early on if you make that initial jump, get an early if you get original pop and immediately make the jump and slam it into the first checkpoint, that's just such a early momentum in like the first 10 seconds of a game. It doesn't necessarily lead to a lockout, but it can be very hard to come back from.
Yeah, no, Rainmaker Museum Dolphins, you know, definitely a big, a primary stage to really snowball a lot of points very quickly here. And of course, if we see game 3, it's hard to tell right now without seeing how this first match plays out. But if we see game 3 to finish things off in this set, Splatzone's Barnacle and Dime, rather fairly flat and open map, but surprisingly a bit of a lockout heavy map as well. So we'll see if we even make it to that far, considering once again these two teams have gone 2-0 in their previous rounds so far. So it can very well be yet another 2-0 for one of these two teams.
I can't believe these people are gonna Barnacle and Dime us at the Hacklefish Market. This is crazy. God, I love Splatoon. I love Splatoon puns so much, and we're gonna see all of the goodness of it. I don't know where I'm going with this bit. Game 1.
Game number 1. Yeah, we see yet another E-leader coming out on the show here as well. On the other side, 11-foot-8 Bridge of Theseus, I see a low string as well as a 52 gal, which I do believe it has been on the up and up in popularity. Actually, a 52 gal on either side, I'm just realizing that now, but just quick explosive action right out the gates.
I mean, one gal clearly saw the other as a threat and took it down. That's already a wipeout right there. Beautiful, beautiful team synergy. They got the cooler out of planting an ink mine right there for any sneaky flankers that might come around, such as that decap once they get out of spawn right here. But right now, Noff 24 just doing their best to keep them out. They have a massive range advantage thanks to that leader. I hope this isn't a repeat of the first game last round. Dang! Immediately 3 down right there. Beautiful snipe. Yeah, like this leader can just take such an aggressive position off to the side here. Unfortunately, that Booyah Bomb's going to get canceled. And we're just taking it down the way, already halfway through the points, Dark.
Yeah, halfway through the points, and a very solid hold here from North 24, just being able to pick apart 11-8 Bridge of Theseus one by one as they come. Even taking these trades is a winning swing for North 24, as there's just no breathing room for 11-8 Bridge of Theseus whatsoever. There's so much yellow on the paint. You're set up in such a good position that even if one does slip by, you have the players, you have the range to be able to look back and be able to stop them. What DZ was trying to do there at the end, but it was just not enough. 100-0 in favor of North 24 with a knockout.
Gosh, they had a shopping list ready. They were in and out of the market all good. They want to spend as much time at the museum as possible. Jeez Louise, they really did a good job of just staggering Bridge of Theseus right here, just making it so that their opponents are spawning in at different times, forcing them to pick fights 1-on-1, 2-on-1. And you see right here, even though the decap was able to sneak around near the end here, they can't really do much when a leader and a shooter are just poking at them in the final seconds of the match.
No, it was a very solid hold from North 24. Almost a checkmate scenario, if I want to say there, with how they just set themselves up at the end. But, you know, it's still not out of the water for 11-8 Bridge just yet. We still have this second game on Museum Delfonsino with Rainmaker on deck here. So we'll see exactly if North 24 might get that same explosive quick action to the conversion of that initial pop into that first Rainmaker duck right out the gate or not. We'll see how things play out. But I do wonder if they might want to switch up their weapon lineup at least a little bit here.
I can definitely see some different weapon comps on either side. I wonder if 11-8 Bridge of Theseus is going to maybe try to pick some weapons that might counter leader a bit more. I know that Museum's a pretty decent crab map, though I don't know necessarily when it comes to leader specifically if crab is a good shutdown or not. I'm also expecting maybe to see just a bit more aggressive play on their part. They're really going to need to bring the energy and also just make sure that if they are dying at different times, they are coming back together, because you can't afford to stagger in this level of play.
But
Spider Scope.
Do see the adjustment there. No E-Leader, bringing out the vanilla Splat Charger instead, because specifically the scope variant as well. But I do like that pivot away from the E-Leader to bring in the Ink Vacuum, which I personally very much enjoy on Rainmaker specifically. And out the gate too, make that 3. Renzo being the last player standing on 11-8 Bridge of Theseus, but a wipeout means that once again, now 24 gets a very aggressive and very fast-paced opening as they get that first dunk within the first 30 seconds of this game.
Yeah, I really thought when I saw Knock 24's Gal moving all the way on the left side towards both the Dread Ringer and the Wellstringer, I was like, they'll take him down. Nope. However, that Stamper is definitely going to get 2, make that 3 right here as they shut down that play. It isn't over exactly yet, as we see the last member of Knock 24 brings it down, and the Splatter Scope is able to come in on the right side. I've never seen a Charger come in on this right side here, but they are keeping this push alive right here. The Rainmaker, they stopped all of their defenses, Dark!
Yeah, no room for breathing whatsoever. North 24 has the vision to keep it going, and they will keep it going. One by one, 11-8 Bridge of Theseus is falling. Tacticaler is online. 2 players down. You have the passing here from North 24 to be able to take it even further, but playing it slow and steady is the name of the game here with a Rainmaker, but you're slowly losing ground, slowly losing pressure. We do see the Rainmaker get dropped, and the Ink Vacuum pop not fast enough as 11-8 Bridge of Theseus does recover, but can they keep it going? But no, the Rainmaker is popped immediately due to the Ink Vacuum, but they are able to take the recovery in time.
Okay, they avoided 1 stamp there. They're not going to avoid a second right here. I was really hoping that it hit. Texturact just getting the Rainmaker off out of their spawn. They need a moment breather. That how are we on? Again, what is happening, Dark? The Gal looking to get a kill right here is able to do that. They get Aura right here. They need to fall back. Now they are down. You can't keep engagement going like that when you're that low. Trade right there allows them to just have some advantage in mid, but they're just immediately picked off by the scope. You need to stay in mid for a second. Just buy time. We can't afford any more hero moments right now. We need to just play some good, solid neutral right here. But even then, they're just dropping one by one. That Reef Slider isn't going to do much, and it leaves the... two more down. I can't even say what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Not 24 has a solid hold here in mid. They did go down 3 initially, but 11-foot Bridge of Theseus wasn't able to actually fully recover from that initial push there. And now they're struggling to even take any semblance of ground, any semblance of footing here in mid. No. Taking it to the top of this platform means that Not 24 is looking to just try and stall it out for the remainder of this match, knowing that 24 points remaining in order for 11-foot Bridge of Theseus to be able to take that and contest that lead. They pretty much need to guarantee a wipeout scenario there and a knockout scenario there, and I don't think that's something that Not 24 thinks is in the cards for an 11-foot bridge.
Okay, they seemingly decided to run the Rainmaker back up, not swim, run, as we're seeing right here. However, I was thinking, wait, they're trying to stall. What's the point total at right here? 24. It's at 24. I think they were wanting to be like, how funny would it be if we won at 24? But we're just going to go for it right there. How did they duck under the decab like that?
Yeah, a good attempt to close the gap, and they push their offensive even further, taking down to 6 points remaining. But now it's 11-foot Bridge of Theseus' turn to try and go in the offensive here. 2 players down for them, though. Not 24 holding their ground as best they can, fights off and fends off this push from 11-foot Bridge here. But Renzo, still the last player standing, does get knocked out. That's the delayed wipeout from them, but with 1 minute remaining, things are not looking good for 11-foot Bridge of Theseus. They do not have the time to be able to close the gap. To take it to 5 points remaining, it's gonna be a hard ball to push here.
Yeah, it very much is. I wonder what the point of popping that crab was, just to immediately pick up Rainmaker. But you know what? We saw an opportunity for the push. You know, it's good intuition to like know that you have to cancel the crab to at least move the Rainmaker a little bit. Right now, they're just stalling right here, running with it. Oh, they have a hammer, a decap, and a thing chasing them. I don't even know what killed them right there, but they eventually go down. 30 seconds left. Okay. This is essentially 11-foot Bridge's only chance for a push. They need to have control of mid right here. Already their gal goes down the Dread in a very offensive position, and the Rainmaker gets picked off from the side as no one was guarding the right. That is not what you want to see in the last 10 seconds here. Dark as the gal killed the decap, and they're just putting enough paint on the heads. Rainmaker to stop them from being, they pose for the camera right there.
Yeah, I mean, Nav 24 did an extraordinarily well job there to keep 11-foot Bridge of Theseus in check for the majority of that game. And even when they did go down 2 or even 3 players against 11-foot Bridge of Theseus, there's still enough paint, enough presence from Nav 24 to be able to hold on to those fleeting moments to allow the remainder of the team to recover and rejoin and be able to properly defend the incoming push from 11-foot Bridge of Theseus. Now with a 2-0 stat for Nav 24 means that they're looking pretty good moving into this next round.
Looks like Come Rain or Shine took it 2-1 over Pushy Octolings right there. Good to see some familiar faces here in SOS. I wonder where they're going to be stacking up in round 3 right that we do have the next round ready. My friend Dark, use your mystical powers once again to try to figure out what the next matchup is.
With our next match already at the ready, I gotta say, I'm pretty much very unexpectedly surprised by how fast these group stage has been going so far. But our third stage, as you can see here, folks, is going to be turn left, going up against Trickonometry. Not trigonometry, but Trickonometry. Don't get that confused, folks. We're not in school right now. It is in the summer.
Okay, I'm going to be really upset if turn left takes a single right angle this entire set. I'm going to be very upset about it. It's like when somebody merges into the wrong lane. Like if they have their blinkers on for the left to change lanes to the left and they go to the right. I will be severely disappointed and my day will be ruined.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens here. You know, a good right angle could be if any of these players from turning left brings out the line marker as a funny haha. But as we're waiting here, folks, we'll see what's going to be played on in this round, in this stage. As I do know, at the very least, we will be kicking these off with this third round on Splat Zone's Robo Ramen.
Glorious Robo Ramen. I adore this map. Amaze. As a friendly rock creature would say. I love this map. I love how dynamic it is with verticality, the various flank angles. I love just the little glass area in mid that you can flank from. I very much love the sneaky sprinkler spot you can get here at the start, and I wonder if we'll see any people who try to take advantage of it, because not a lot of weapons can deal with it easily if you can get it on the underneath of the iconic ramen bowl right there. I am, of course, as always, as the resident Dynamo player here at IPL, have to say that I really, really want to see a Dynamo on this map, as I feel like it might be its best map in the game.
Yeah, Dynamo has been a bit of a conversation point in a little bit of the recent past here, but whether we will see it or not, though, is another question. But to pull things back a little bit, once again, folks, I was looking at the bracket, the group stage, to see exactly how these two teams have been doing so far in their previous rounds, and I've learned as to why this round is already at the ready, because both these two teams have gone 0-2 on their last two rounds against their last two teams. So it's not the results you want to see, but mathematically it does have to happen to someone. But yeah, we'll be seeing exactly who will get their first victory here against these two teams, and who will unfortunately keep up the losing streak that they've been feeling with these past two rounds.
Yeah, pressure's on right now. This halfway point in round robin. The teams need to get a win here in order to make any headway of making like good placement in bracket, assuming they even make it. I am looking for just a lot of aggression here. We've seen it a lot tonight. We've seen actually a lot of aggression tonight. I was about to say maybe we haven't seen enough. No, I want more. More aggression. Give it to me. Because I feel like this, all of the maps here actually have a lot of opportunity for just a lot of aggressive plays, good flank routes. Scorch is going to be very, very helpful for boxing people in, assuming you can get that. And even Mako Mark to that extent. I feel like the aggression is going to be the key piece, at least if the theme of tonight is anything to go off of.
Yeah, but out the gate, you do get your wish as we see the Dynamo, but paired with the E-Leader, I am a little bit worried about the speed and the painting power from turn left, especially with the Blaster as well as the Frontliner, because on the other side for Trickonometry, you do see the heavy spatling, you do see the pencil, you do see the 52, and the Stamper is all right with painting, but Trickonometry has a very paint-heavy lineup on their side, but two picks out the leg, stumbled my words there as turn left brings the tide, and now it's currently in the lead, pushing Trickonometry back.
Turn left seems to be embodying the idea of, well, they can't paint if they're dead, as we start off here, because, I mean, at first glance, it is like, yeah, where's your paint going to come from? And it might honestly just be the ink-filled bodies of whoever, unfortunately, comes into contact with them, as the Blaster pairs up very well with all the weapons on this comp, especially the sword and the Dynamo right here. The Dynamo also pairs very well with the sword. One down on each side right here. Is turn left is just holding strong to this lead. They're just keeping Trickonometry out. Whatever it works with this comp, just the amount of splash damage and poke pressure that they have, it's doing a great job. They're out poking a pencil heavy comp. This is insane.
Yeah, turn left has had extraordinarily well hold here, and with not a lot of points taking down left, Trickonometry needs to be moving in fast, but even with the Booyah Bomb, it's still not enough, as turn left was able to turn the tides pretty early on this game here, was able to take that 100-0, keeping Trickonometry in check for the rest of this game.
I'm just gonna take a quick little screenshot of the team comp here and then send it to my own personal team to be like, hey guys, wouldn't it be funny if... I mean, they'll laugh at me and then I'll show them this replay and they'll be like, okay, so maybe it can work. Because, I mean, it clearly worked right there. The amount of paint that is able to be put out by Dynamo on this map is very, very useful. But the blaster paired with the sword was able to put up just such offensive pressure. They were... Trickonometry wasn't able to get out of spawn, especially now with that E-leader watching. I like that we see more leader. I like it from a commentating perspective because I never used to see leader. I hate it from a playing against it perspective because I play Dynamo and I don't like fighting against leader.
Yeah, E-leader being more common and more prevalent is a good sight to see depending on where you are on the side of that barrel. But no, Turn Left taking this first game here. We will be seeing how things will be adjusted from Trickonometry here going to our second game, which will be Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge here. And I want to point out from Turn Left, specifically from that last game, that what I liked and kind of noticed from them is how smart they were playing. It was as if they knew that they were going to be at the paint disadvantage there, and so they're playing not necessarily more slowly, but more deliberately and more cohesively, trying to take the trades, the fights that they know would at least be somewhat in their own merits. And because of that, they're able to consistently pull those fights into their favor, convert that to picks, convert that to more pushing power to keep Trickonometry in check. And I wonder if they can keep that up here.
Yeah, no, I very much agree with you, because say they tried to play the trade game there, they would have immediately lost on paint output, because just literally anything on the other team would have just outpainted what they had, from the pencil to the heavy to the shooter, anything. We're seeing right here literally no changes from Trickonometry. This, I feel, will be a little bit harder of a match as we see a swap to... do they have... I think the Neo Splash is new right here, but if they keep up that just smart play style that you were talking about, pairing off the blaster with either the Dynamo or the sword, just depending on who needs help at the time, making sure they just keep the amount of paint in order to get going. And also a thing about the two weapons that they have, which is great for playing. Oh god, 3 down already. Well, this is the downside to their thing, is if you get picked off one by one right there, you're gonna see suddenly the enemy is in your base with a Booyah Bomb.
Yeah, I like the deliberately slower opening from Trickonometry, knowing that they have the paint advantage. You don't necessarily need to engage on turn left. You need to let them come to you, and with the painting advantage on your side, it's an easier pickings for your end. And now they're threatening to get a potential push going on their side. They don't have the clan economy, though, to get anything started, but turn left, notably here, is kind of stuck on their side of the map. We do see the Dynamo looking to try and get a potential extra angle to apply more pressure from a different side of this map here, but can Trickonometry keep that in check? It's a better question here.
I will say even though that they got pushed back right there, we saw that their defense was still very, very on track. They were able to quickly adapt right here. Even with one person down, we're seeing Yaki. You never expect the shark.
You can't miss that!
You can't miss both the flicks, brother! One flick isn't bad enough. You can't miss both those. They got not two, but they got one ball in and another few clams before it looks like they've shut down. How do you miss that? You have the beautiful setup. Nobody suspects the sharking Dynamo. It's one of the great plays. Almost as important as never picking a fight with a Sicilian when death is on the line. Something I messed up the Princess Bride quote.
Oh man, that Dynamo sharking around had the prime opportunity to potentially shut down the push from Trickonometry, but no, escaping from their grasp there, they were able to get a few points on the board here. Now Turn Left has to try and find a way to break through this solid defense from Trickonometry, but it seems that they actually might have done so. 3 players going down for them. Turn Left quickly moving in to get this counter push going in. That power clan going into the clan basket here. The Booyah Bomb stacking on top of it to apply some extra pressure, but I think that was pulled a little bit too early there, as they wasn't able to actually zone off anyone since there was no one in that spot though. But they did close the gap here. 68 points remaining against the 62 points from Trickonometry. I don't think they'll be able to get the extra clan there in time, as they're forced to back up.
Yeah, no, I definitely would have. I understand the leader going for it. I probably would have done the same thing, but the smart move definitely would have been to just fall back just a little bit, try to hold ground and get some more clans right here. We're seeing another Booyah Bomb already generated. I'm very impressed by that Stamper's ability to just generate Booyah as fast as it does. I need to look more into how much paint that weapon outputs right here. Seeing the Dynamo just taking some angles, trying to keep Trickonometry off of that box that is so important to their defense. Once this comp gets into your face, they can really just stay there, as we're seeing right here, especially on a map like this. We see their Stamper go down, the pencil getting pressured right here. 1:45 left on the clock, and a massive amount of clams on the side of turn left. And it looks like Trickonometry's a little scattered right here. They break open the barrier and get the lead.
Yeah, the lead is taken there, but the question is, how is Trickonometry going to respond here? Because you clean up turn left, you push them back, you have the pity clam spawn, as well as their own power clam you managed to form, and your incoming push here. Now moving in quickly to meet turn left on the incoming. They don't have a lot of resources, they don't have a lot of specials to try and defend here, so it's crucial that you use your tools to the best of your ability to punish that initial pretty much delayed wipeout on their side. Using those triple in strikes, they find no one. A gem does get it picked up, but it's quickly picked out in return here. There's only a minute left, but the tides aren't necessarily against you, but they aren't moving in your turn either.
Yeah, right now they're playing the neutral game. They know that if they just get one super in, that's almost a sure way to victory. 2 down on the side of turn left right here, but with the Stamper in the middle, they're a little spread out right now. You need to support your other super clam off to the side right here before they go down. Unfortunately, the Dynamo got to them right there. Now you're the one with 2 people down. They got separated. Turn left did such a good job of making them, hey, maybe this is why they're called turn left, making them about face, look away from the prime person they need to defend, and now all of a sudden their entire push is gone. They've lost the neutral and mid-dark, and there's so many clans in their base.
Yeah, a quick response from turn left to move in forward, knowing exactly the position Trickonometry is. They rush in to get the power clam into the clam basket here, keeping it open to potentially prevent an overtime victory here. They just need to make sure they can throw in one clam in as time gets close to 0, and that they do. Turn left does a good job holding it and bringing it back from an initial push from Trickonometry, going 2-0 against them.
Yeah, that was some very, very wonderful work from both teams. Something that I wanted to comment on earlier about turn left's comp is that not only is it's very good at getting in your face, as we mentioned, and it'll stay there. Something else that I think is that I didn't get to mention on was that it's also very, specifically on this map, it's very, very good for defense. The wide swings of the Dynamo can very easily cover the main areas that people have to come through for pushes that can, and if not even a direct kill, it can be picked up on a blaster or the Stamper, and then you always have to worry about the leader because they can just sit back right behind the basket on this map and just see both angles that the offensive team has to come in from. So with defense there, they're because they were able to stop the pushes that Trickonometry tried to get on them, just by being able to hold their ground and then divert attention away from those key areas.
Yeah, a good showing nonetheless from turn left, using their weapon lineup to try and use the map terrain to their advantage to the best of their ability, converting that into a good 2-0 victory over Trickonometry here, But as we wrap things up here, I do believe that finishes up our group stages, so we are actually a little bit early for our group stages, so I think we will be going.
Let's go.
Yeah, seeing nothing but 2-0s on our side, we will be taking a little bit of a break, folks, as we get things ready for our bracket run. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks. Get your food, snacks, and water. We'll be right back after this break.
inside is bleeding, oh, and your heart's bleeding, and all you can see is red. Till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you are the one. And I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you are the one. And I can't wait to see you
Memories die out too hard. But we were traveling mountains just to find the loudest seas. We sat down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer
something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
If we are one grain of sand in the middle of the ocean, can you try to understand how a touch can cause explosions? Rise up, I'm too great to be landed. Rise up, we're too great to be standing.
They never gonna stop us, fly at 'em like choppers, better cook those risks, cold blood on my fists, we fire starters, one out of a million will reach those heights, always in the field and then I won't deny that work, never could toss, look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks, rise. Rise, cutting my size, trying to make sense of it all comprised. Your eyes, bringing these skies. Never stuck down, feeling paralyzed, but I'm up now. We all too late to fall. Yeah, anyone coming up, I lift them all. Never look down with this risk of off. They got guts, got a lot, I gotta risk it all. Ain't got no feelings, we just floating. Yeah, I'm that grain of sand that made it out the ocean. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
So rise up, rise up. We are the apocalypse, and a pill that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the hype won't scare us falling. So rise up, I'm too great to be landed. Rise up, we're too great to be standing.
They never gonna stop us, fly at 'em like choppers, better cook those risks, cold blood on my fists, we fire starters, one out of a million will reach those heights, always in the field and then I won't deny that work, never could toss, look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks, rise.
Welcome back, one and all, to the start of our great white bracket. Here we got low level pickup versus Salutations. I wanted to do that into Penny voice. On Robo Ramen Splatoon. Hey, I'm always glad to be back here, and I'm hoping that we can see this low level pickup maybe make it all the way through bracket. I mean, with a name like that, it's just like I want the underdog story just from a name like that. Though, looking at the teams here, I'm expecting to see a good game. I'm seeing a lot of aggressive stuff on the side of low-level pickup, plus a lovely, lovely heavy Splatling player, which should be fun, and maybe a leader to throw around in there as well. We saw a leader have great work on this map earlier.
Yeah, E-Leader wouldn't be a big of a surprise here if it came out on Zone's Robo Ramen, but I guess it's more on the micro than the more minute details as to what these teams want to bring to the table here. And of course, we're still in a best of 3 here in this first round of Great White. But as we move on further the bracket, these sets will take a little bit longer and longer. But that's besides the point. That's the future's problem here. We will be seeing exactly how this first round, how this first match is going to be going out here between these two teams right up the gate. Nothing too unusual on one side. The Nautilus paired with the Luna, paired with the 52. I don't think I've seen a combination like that before.
Is that sarcasm, or have you seen that often?
I don't know.
I personally think Not Luna is a very, very fun combination. We're seeing right here, Woe just on the side here trying to pressure off. We force the jump right there from the side of low level. Pickup just hanging on wall right here. Good jump out. You don't want to go down that early as we're just fighting for control of mid, trading specials back and forth. We see this Splattershot Pro go all the way in only to jump back right away. I always appreciate when teams are very quick to super jump, but there's a time and a place for it of if we're gonna just go in just to immediately super jump, why go in at all? But they do keep control of zone here even despite that hammer throw.
Yeah, a good control of the zone, low-level pickup, keeping the pace, keeping up the tempo here on their side. A lot of jumps coming in from their side. Not afraid to use that button to reposition here at a moment's notice. And because of that, but we see a good conversion there as Tan is able to pick up to be able to keep the zone secured on their side, even though they were dealt a small amount of penalty points, but they're still present and they're still here, only finally able to finally being able to be forced back here as Salutations takes this hold.
Hey, I'm just finally happy to see the zone actually flip for once, Dark. So, I'm not going to complain at all right here. Both teams are very, very quick to super jump, and I love to see it. We're just tossing some fizzies right here. Crab coming down here on the right side, trying to get some picks. One down on either side might not be a good way for low-level pickup to start their push right there. They have Cooler ready, but that Luna has got their special ready for a response. And with one more down, it just keeps if they keep staggering like this, low-level pickup has lost their lead. There is still, of course, 3 minutes left on the clock, but you don't want to keep this play going because that can really snowball really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very dangerous ground here, though. Salutations does lose the Nautilus, which is a lot of their active pressure away. Pairing that with the Luna going down to the 52, going down in tandem as well. Tan on a rampage here as they activate Flow Aura. Gets another good pick to get the extension before being finally shut down by the pencil, but the damage has already been done, folks. The zone is going to go in the name of low-level pickup as they take that lead and keep this momentum going in their favor. Going down with the 1-for-1 trade as well.
You get a little 4-piece McNugget at the Internet Cafe, and you keep on chugging right here, down to 30 points, 2-2-2 on the clock. That's a beautiful splashdown right there, able to get one off. That stamp is no room to move right now. You don't want to charge in right there. They're trying to just get a lucky hammer throw. The Crab gracefully sidesteps it right here. 4 points left. Are they able to get it? I don't think that gal's going to be able to do it. No, yeah. I think it might have neutralized after the time went out, but low-level pickup is going to take this game.
Yeah, a good showing between the two teams here. Salutations showing that they have a lot of fight against level pickup, but at the end of the day, it's not enough, especially against the hands of Tan, who was able to just pick after pick after pick and really swing a lot of momentum in low-level pickup's favor here.
I very, very, very much agree. I mean, doing a great job shutting out any specials that Salutation wanted to use, like that stamp. I think we only saw really one good stamp. I like the crab there at the end, just doing such a good job of like shutting them out and gracefully avoiding the stamp throw. I feel like, you know, big mobile tank, you want to hit it with a hammer, so just really avoid the Mjolnir throw from downrange and you should be good. We're going to be taking the next game down to tower control on Undertow Spillway. As we saw earlier, this can be quite a dominant map, but I think this one will actually be a bit more back and forth if the first game is anything to go off of. I really feel like both teams having pencil is going to allow them to fight on a lot of even ground here.
Yeah, I think this definitely can be a lot closer, especially given the varied, more drastic changes in just map terrain and layout and just general cover overall here. But as we're heading in here to see exactly if there will be any changes between these two teams on terms of weapons to sort of adjust to this different style here. Nope, not a change on the side of low level of pickup, neither a change either as well from the side of Salutations here. Low level pickup though is up one game, so they are at the advantage here to take away the set and send Salutations home pretty much really early here.
We did see a slight change, which is the change from Custom Blaster to normal. I assume they just want a little bit more insurance while they're on the tower. That makes sense. A very early crab right here from the side of low level pickup, just trying to keep the pencil off of the perch. They do a good job right there. Buy time for the Booyah Bomb and the Cooler to be ready. Point blank Booyah on that. Neo is going to send it down as they look to Pencer this 52 gal, force it out, and they make it to the first checkpoint right here. They're going to get through that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
A good extension as well. We do see the Gal trying to fight for their lives there. Does take a player down with them, but the damage is still being done. We do see the second checkpoint is going to go out without any issues. The rain does come out, but the bubble protects them from it as that tactical response to keep this momentum going in their favor. Stacking that with the Booyah Bomb to clear some more space. This low level pickup is swarming a bit of a death ball here. Just keep this momentum going forward and forward and forward. And yeah, the pencil is gone here, but there's still more than enough players to be able to get through that third checkpoint and keep this momentum going, finally being shut down, but the player is still left remaining there from low level pickup, keeping the pressure going in on their favor, trying to knock it out here and now, wasting no time and effort.
How did they survive? The blaster got the kill at the end there, but we weren't able to get to tower to stop before the rest of the team respawned. What a beautiful, beautiful way to stagger the team right there. Wonderful job from low level pickup.
Yeah, I mean, an extraordinary last stand there from low-level pickup to keep that ball going. Things were looking a little bit dire for them, seemingly as if that push was all as much as good as gone at that point, but Bochi there was able to hold it out to be able to keep things going and allowing the remainder of the team to jump in, to swim in, and secure that victory.
I can't believe the Luna didn't get the kill right there. That is heartbreaking. They had the jump and everything. They saw them climb up the wall. They either barely missed their direct or when they jumped off of tower, they surprised them. But either way, that is the type of moment right there. There's a time for hero plays. I mean, they had the advantage. Both teams were down to just like one or two people, and they knew that if they wanted to win the game right then and there, they had to do something, and they pulled it off beautifully. Congrats to the low-level pickup. You certainly deserve it.
Yeah, and a bit of an unfortunate sending off for Salutations for making it to this first round, only to be sent home pretty quickly, but making it to Great White is still something to be proud of nonetheless, though. But with that being said and done, folks, with that quick match there, first round of Great White Bracket, I do believe our time here is up. So anything you want to add or plug in, Jolteon, as we do head out here?
Record time right here, Dark. I guess I am named after a speedy electric type. You can find me at the same name of Jolteon Jack VA over at Blue Sky and Twitter. I am a voice actor. If you need me for any projects, big or small, I'd be more than willing to send in an audition and see what you think. I'm thinking about starting streaming, but aside from that, you can find me here at IPL and other lovely Splatoon areas. Where can they find you, Dark?
SPF Dark is my socials for most platforms here, but more often than not, you will most likely hear me on the time again across the various platforms as a commentator, as well as your head TO for Don't Flout in the Function as Anarchy Nova, two lands who have been on the up and up as of late. But with that being said and done, folks, we'll be swapping things here around, folks, so don't go anywhere just yet, as we'll get the stage ready for our next set of commentators.
Yeah. Unknown Brain. Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
I know that I gotta stay away from all your games, and I know that I found somebody else to love me one day. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. No, you did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say goodbye.
Yeah, my life is lovely now, I'm focused on me. You said you were about to die, I guess the car is on E. But see, I ain't even tripping, cause I just chose to believe that somebody gon' come around and give me just what I need. I don't wanna see you flying, see you looking down and out. Coming to me crying, saying you miss having me around. Gave you chances and you blew it, you so easily influenced. All the times you told me beat it, now you gotta face the music, I'm saying.
I know that I gotta stay away from all your games, yeah. I know that I found somebody else to love me one day. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on the other side, no. You did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say goodbye. Suck me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you. And the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Suck me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Swim or Sink 232, getting into round 2 of Great White Bracket here. My name is Nox. I'm joined here by Secant, and we're going to be looking at Darklord PGE versus Sherbet, the Bathwater of George Pig.
Yeah, but quite an interesting name we have right there, Nox. It's Sherbet is one of the players on that team, so I'm really curious to know where this name came from.
It would be interesting to know. Admittedly, Darklord PGE, a bunch of well-known names. We've got Bandit, we've got Drifty, we've got Cairo, we've got IPS, who I'm a little surprised is playing at this hour since they're a European player. But you know, everyone's allowed to make their choices on a weeknight.
Yeah, absolutely. Who knows what they may or may not have going on the next day. So, and then Sherbet drank the bathwater of George Pig. We have Chamomile, Starfish, Q, and Sherbet. So, grab from their Cindas, that's the blaster player. With Chamomile, Starfish usually plays Chargers. Q is known for Brush, and Sherbet on Nautilus. Does that all sound right to you, Nox?
It does all sound right to me. Nothing too shocking there. And then with Bandit, we're going to be seeing another Charger coming out. IPS will be on some support weapon. Seems like Drifty is playing more dualies these days, but traditionally has been more of a bucket player from what I remember back in S2. But that's ancient history now.
And Jamboree's been out since September of 2022. We've been in this game for almost 4 years at this point.
I don't like that. I'm not going to think any more about that information.
Think of all the metas that we've been through in those 4 years.
I don't want to remember Sloshing Machine and Crab Tank, actually. I don't want to go back there.
I don't like hitting people through that little underneath part on...
Don't bring up
Undertow.
Flounder. Oh, okay. Undertow is less upsetting. Flounder's the one that really gets me. But we're going to be starting off on Splat Zone's Mahi Mahi, a classic. If you've been keeping up with Falco's Blue Sky, people have been raving about it all day for some reason. And we are going to be getting into it here. Should be an exciting one. Yeah. So Splat Zone's Mahi, the gimmick is the water lowers halfway through. Well, not halfway through, at 60 points. And nothing too crazy coming out here. Snipe Rider 5H, Bandit playing that charger. Nothing too shocking, but should be a lot of fast-paced gameplay with the two different skirmishers in the mix.
We do see Sherbet on that Forge Pro instead of the Nautilus they're typically known for.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice midline option. Nice to have that little bit of extra paint, and that Booyah Bomb really can offer a lot of extra control. And if we're looking... Yeah.
Looks like Darklord PGE taking control of the zone early, but still 3 up right now. Another trade right there. Looks like PGE is going to retain control of the zone. Just a lot of trades happening right now.
Yeah, Darklord PGE doing a great job of playing really fast, really aggressive, and claiming the space that's left open for them, really dominating and domineering the map to find what they need.
And then we see the timer drop below 60, so this map's going to open up and allow for more entrance options for Sherbet to get through. 2 down on PGE. Sherbet takes the zone. 2 more down on PGE. Sherbet kind of trying to keep this ball rolling, but 2 go down. But they do have that cooler as some insurance.
And now the Chargers staring each other down, trying to find a way to let their other players in. Sherbet jumped in, so did Ku. Not going to be able to find much with that. The zone flips back over to Darklord PGE. The Tetra does go down, but that's kind of what the Tetra does.
Yeah, always. Tetris just looking to try and grab as much attention from Sherbet as possible so the rest of Darklord PGE can just snipe them off.
Yeah, Darklord PGE gonna have to find a way to break back in here. They find a pick on the brush player. The Tetra going to move forward now, getting pretty close to that reef slider. They find everything but the pro, full wipeout. They're now going to be looking forward to try and claim a lot of space on the plat, and the 52 gal looking to just really lock down that left side there.
Cooler out from Darklord PGE. That's going to give them some insurance to be able to push up more. We already see that pencil down on Sherbet, and now the S-Blast. So Darklord PGE really going to try and push up, make sure that Sherbet has nowhere they can really go to.
Yeah, I mean, just really bold positioning, really aggressive forward momentum. Not quite working out the way they wanted there at the end.
They got cooler. They'll be back.
Well, you don't get the cooler respawn, I think, if you go down that way out of memory. But it's still fine. They had their charger player up. They're able to keep control of mid without too much issue. 52 gal has gone down again. The Tetra looking to find the ink brush, able to. Now they just have to outpaint a pro, which admittedly pretty easy for 3 weapons to do. Darklord PGE takes game 1.
Yeah. It was a very solid showing by Darklord PGE. They had there was a little bit of time where Sherbet was there, got the zone back, was starting to push in, but Darklord was able to get a few picks and just retain control of the zone. And other than that, that was just a very dominant showing from Darklord PGE.
It was. They did an excellent job of demanding space, using their specials to help to do that. The charger hit some really pivotal shots. The Tetra drew attention. And the 52 gal did what it does best of playing into those sides and just taking advantage of the impressive force it has. And next we're going to head into Clamblitz Umami Ruins. Always an exciting one. Definitely can be very hard to get a push in on. Any kind of strategies you think we might see come out here, Seacant?
Not specifically from either teams. I feel like both teams are generally pretty comfortable with what they're running right now, but I won't be surprised if we see a weapon or 2 swap to fit the terrain of Umami more than Mahi Mahi.
Yeah, I really don't necessarily expect Bandit to keep playing Firefin Splat Charger here. I think we might see a switch over to a Vanilla or an E-Leader, maybe a Snipe Rider, but I don't think I've ever really seen Bandit play that regularly. And we've seen plenty of Bandit over the years from Deck Motif, so pretty known entity there. Definitely one that you need to make sure that you have specials to get in through that choke on, though.
Yeah, and absolutely. And with Clan Blitz, you have to make sure that you're really pushing objectives to get points.
Yes, and you want to make sure that you're not just giving them a free pity clam. It's vital to ensure that. And we are seeing a switch in terms of what charger is being played, though it's not in the way I was personally expecting. But can't complain. Crab Tank is absolutely incredible on this stage. Does an excellent job of really controlling space, will allow them to have a little bit of extra safety. And IPS on that zap will just make it so that their Tetra and Gal can play so aggressively.
Absolutely. Crab just demands attention on this stage. And if you can get it set up, it can just allow the rest of your team to really thrive. But we already see 2 down on PGE. Sherbet going for a strong push right now, but it looks like the Chargers doing a pretty good job of keeping them away for now. And just like that, 3 are down on Sherbet. This is Darklord's PGE's opportunity.
Yeah, it was a bit of a delayed wipeout. They're now going to be looking to clean up the S-Blast, who extended forward quite a bit on their own. Crab Tank going to come out on that circle, allowing the rest of Darklord PGE to keep staying set up. The Hammer trying to find some value, not quite able to. Just the S-Blast left up. They're trickling in a couple more clams, but they've got to go find more. The 52 Gal can hold that space so well, though.
Very well, but not too well against the 3v1. We do see the Gal go down. That's 2 down on Darklord, and I think this is going to be the end of their push.
Looks like it will, but they haven't given up mid in the process, leaving them in a lot of control, giving them a way better chance at getting back in without letting Sherbet get any extra points in the mix. 2 of them have gone down, though. The Charger's going to have to back off here, but gets picked off in the process, leaving this jump open and exposed.
Brave jump in from the Tetra, was able to survive for a little bit, but not able to pick anyone off from that. We do see the brush go down on Sherbet, so they're probably not going to have as strong as a push as they want to. But the Tetra again goes down on Darklord. Perhaps they can make something of this?
Perhaps. They definitely are doing a great job of keeping that choke under their control, really locking it down. The Crab Tank coming out, going to enable the rest of their players to try and find a bit more forward momentum. The Tetra Shark able to find the pick onto that Ultra Stamp, looking to move forward now and eager to take the space and the opportunities given, and that excellent pinch coming in from the 52 Gal there.
And with that, it looks like Sherbet's not going to be able to get a push off, and Mid's going to go back to Darklord for a bit.
Yeah, Darklord doing an excellent job recapping mid, regaining control. It's always all about stage control, whether you're in zones or not, so having more of your turf down matters so much. We have a power clam at the ready, a reef slider coming out to clear the space, going to be trying to find the snipe rider there, able to get it in a trade, just the S-Blast left.
2v1 on the teams in favor of Darklord. Are they going to try and push this? Looks like the Chargers just staying back, trying to pick off a few more, but throw the power clam in, and that's going to start scoring for Darklord.
Yeah, Crab Tank comes back out, looking to try and find some value here. Does an excellent job of distracting, allowing a few more clams to trickle in. Zombie jumping in with 5, able to grab a couple more, just trying to trickle them in. They're going to be 1 clam short, but they're not going to be able to get it in time. There it is. I was
there
wrong.
It is. And with that, that is the end of Great White Round 2. That was a pretty quick 2 games.
Yeah, it's about what I was expecting, seeing the teams coming into it. I think Sherbet drank the bathwater, did a pretty good job, all things considered. But Darklord PGE is a really strong pickup for an SOS setting. Very well-known players that have been around forever, playing exceptionally well, and just able to find the control that they need to get it done.
And we saw a few sparks from Sherbet about the push, the zone control on Mahi, or that push that was about to get started on the Clan Blitz map. But unfortunately, we didn't see anything materialize from that. But great showing from both teams. Darklord's going to be moving up to fight low-level pickup in the semis, along with LEGO FORTNITE and Shadowbox on the other side. And of course, after those games, we'll have the finals and then third place match.
Yes, though we won't be streaming the third place match.
Yes. Third place will be happening off stream, but you will definitely see one of the semifinals and of course the finals here. So make sure to stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it should be exciting to get into. We're going to be switching it up to best of 5 coming up. Always a very exciting time. And we're going to be going into Lego's FORTNITE versus Shadowbox. Looks like a lot of +2, +1, Div 1, and Div X players here. So should be pretty exciting. Should be a little bit more back and forth. Seed 2 and Seed 3. So it should be exciting to get into.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm trying to look at some of these names right now. Off the top of my head, it's been a while since I've been in this scene. Are there any interesting facts you can tell me about any of these players? Not.
I'm going to be completely honest. Not right now. It has been a busy day for me, but we're going to be starting on Zone's Mako Mart, so I'm sure that both of these teams will be pretty content with that. Hard to find too many complaints there. It's tried and true for a reason. Am I personally sick of seeing it? Sure. Are we ever going to not see it? No.
I mean, it's always picked for a good reason. You can attack from the right side on the drop-off, or you can go on the left. You have the 2 stacks right there that make for very interesting skirmish opportunities in mid. Overall, it's a very well-designed map, especially for this game.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of the few good maps that was in Splatoon 2. Looked back at those maps recently. Bad. Stop saying you want them back. You don't. Go look at them again. I promise.
You don't want Kelp back?
I don't want what?
You don't want Kelp Dome back?
No, nobody wants Kelp Dome back.
What if I just want a run right maker real fast with enough speed?
That's what, well, you could do that somewhere here. You could do that crab leg. You can do that on crab leg.
Yeah, not the same.
Okay. Well, I think it's for the best that we have left it in the past. But
probably definitely a much more balanced game now.
Yeah, I'd say so. And you know what? We might be in somewhat of an end meta right now, but at least it's not 4 shooters.
Not 4 shooters, not ink armor spam, not 10 missiles spam.
Yes. It could always be worse.
Oh, it could always be worse.
But it should be interesting to see how these 2 teams approach this. I'm always intrigued, and it does seem like Goji on the side of Lego FORTNITE is a Tent Umbrella player, so should be exciting. Definitely not something we see all the time.
Yeah, and Tent Umbrella is one of my favorite weapons to watch someone play. You have to have almost complete mastery of that weapon to be able to do anything with it, and that's just very impressive. It demands attention.
I like when they kill their teammates with the umbrella shield. But we're going to be getting into it here. Like I said, Mako Zones, Lego FORTNITE versus Shadowbox should be exciting. We are seeing that Tent Umbrella come out along with the stickers stamper. And then another pretty interesting comp coming out of Shadowbox there with the Splatana Wiper, the Slosher, and the Vanilla Roller. A lot of very aggressive weapons without a ton of paint behind them.
No, that pen is definitely going to have to work overtime to make sure that zone is painted as much as it needs to be.
Yes, it will. And it looks like the first cap is going to go over to Lego FORTNITE. They did an excellent job finding it, but they're not claiming a lot of space around it. They have found 2 down now, having to dodge the Splatana Wiper's Ultra Stamp there. Able to, but the zone flips, goes over to Shadowbox, and the Slosher being able to deal with the tent pretty well right there. Louis Spot doing an excellent job claiming the stack and really just keeping the zone under control for Shadowbox.
4 are both up on... Oh, never mind. We have 1 down on Shadowbox. Is Lego going to take this opportunity to try and take the zone? They are. And looks like we're going to try and collapse on that roller. They're down. And just get some paint up, and Lego FORTNITE can move around a bit more and show what they're made of.
Yeah, being able to lay down that extra turf gives them a ton more space to work with, a lot more control to gain. Alex Rocky looking to try and claim this right stack here, rushing down the pencil, not able to find it in time. But the strikes find the zone, keeping them in the lead for a bit longer, with a couple specials in the back to try and grab it back quickly.
You see that Stamper come out, or the Stamp come out from the Platana, trying to get some turf down with it, going for the throw, and not able to find anyone with it, but able to push back a few on that right stack.
Yeah, able to help create this situation for their teammates to go in, find a way to take one down, find another. Roller trying to climb up on the stack, thwarted by the tent shield, but still able to be a menace nonetheless, going to rotate over because somebody needs to watch that left side drop, and not much is going to be better at it than a Roller and a Slosher.
Shadowbox now through their penalty, counting down real points on their Splat Zone's timer. Lego throwing out that Booyah Bomb to try and stall, but they're 3 down. Looks like Shadowbox is going to get back the zone, and we only have 30 in-game seconds left until Shadowbox gets this with a wipeout.
Yeah, 28 6 ticks left on the timer, allowing them to try and claim this space. This Roller doing such a great job of just sharking around, going for the flicks when they can. Used to that bubble at a great moment, but not quite well enough to keep it. They find the tent. The zone flips over at the last possible moment. Lego Fortnite still in this game for now.
Down but not out. Anything can happen. Lego Fortnite does go 2 down though, but the Shadowbox is without their pencil. Unfortunately picked right there. Nice direct from the Stamper right there. Going for a leftwards flank on Shadowbox. Able to pull some attention in the back line, but not able to get anything much out of it.
Yeah, not able to quite find what they were looking for with that, but now they have the Tacticooler out, a forced jump out from the Roller. They have a Booyah Bomb at the ready, looking to help get this right side more under control. Now going to have to help their Snipe Rider out to help try and maintain this space. They are through penalty, but the Roller comes in and says no to that with a big bubbler, putting them right back in it. And really, if you're Shadowbox, all you need to do to win this game right now is just keep recapping.
Absolutely. Just being able to recap zone, get some few points down, let the other team use all their specials on the zone. You are going to have to get through that penalty, but as long as they can't cycle their specials enough to stop that before you count down real points, it doesn't matter. You'll eventually get to that 0 points.
Well, and even if you don't get to that 0, as long as you were able to keep recapping, you're going to win the game because you've had the lead. Lego Fortnite still going to try and find a way to break in, but they don't have any specials at the ready. Stamper looking to try and get that Booyah Bomb online. There's a Zuka ready on behalf of that tent, but it might not be able to find anything. Found one, looking for a second, able to, but the Booyah Bomb hits the zone a second too late. And that's game 1 going over to Shadowbox.
Very good performance from Shadowbox right there. A little bit more back and forth than what we saw in round 2, but it should be expected. These two teams were seated closer to each other than the round 2 teams.
Yeah, there's also like all of these players are in that Div 1, Div X, Div 2 area. It's a lot closer in skill level. Not that divs are the most accurate they've ever been right now, but there is also a bunch of plus. They're also, from what I looked at, all plus players. So that's pretty accurate. That's pretty up to date usually. And it should be interesting to see how they approach Clamblitz Museum de Alfonsino. It's always an interesting one. It can be very slow to get moving.
It can be. Sometimes trying to get from that mid area onto their plat can feel excruciating. You already have the height advantage against the other team if you're holding up there. You really just have to rely on either some sort of breakthrough special or a lucky pick, maybe from a leader or a different type of charger, to really get that momentum going to give you the space that's needed to even get up to the plat in the first place to be able to throw that power play.
Yeah, it also wouldn't shock me to see an Inkback come out here. I know that's typically more of a Rainmaker thing, but it wouldn't be a shock to see it here to me. Definitely a stage where it can help a lot and really clear out a ton of space for you, especially if you're already playing with a Tent Umbrella. They have an Inkback kit. Beacons are really good here with how large the stage is. It's definitely an option for Goji to go over to.
It is so interesting how all it took was that buff, and then we're seeing the Inkback a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, it being able to absorb more hits definitely helps a lot. That's a lot of its function. Sure, the explosion after is nice. It's not what you use it for, though.
You really use it for that opening and just being able to, like I said, especially that lets you start to get onto that plat. Simply back up there, and what are they going to do about it?
It's hard to find an answer to. 52 Gal also does really well on this stage, able to clear a ton of space. Seems like they are going to be sticking with that Zuka kit. Not too shocking. It's definitely useful in helping to displace things like the Snipe Rider, and the Splatana Wiper on the side of Shadowbox will be able to play around ledges very well here. But two already down on Shadowbox. Lego Fortnite going to look to try and have an explosive opening here.
Yeah. And that's a great opening to take plat with. 2 down, just go ahead and take it. Take space. Try not to get picked off by the bucket or the stamper. And once we get into place, we can start scoring some points.
Yeah, they actually made a power clam while all of that was happening too. Excellent to see, something that doesn't always happen, but they aren't quite finding the value they need. The Booyah Bomb comes out looking to find one more. They're going to need to rush to the basket, not able to get there in time. Not the kind of opening push you want, but they still have mid control and flat, and the other team's flat under control. So they should be able to keep this momentum up for at least a bit longer.
Usually only throwing power in's not the play, because you give the other team pity for free. Usually you go down if you only get one in, but Lego Fortnite doing a very good job of just maintaining this plat control where it doesn't even seem like it was that big of a deal.
No, typically that's a very big misplay. It's something I tend to fuss about quite a bit because I think it's such an easy thing to avoid usually. But if you're able to keep all your players up, it drastically changes the situation. Tent moving up with the shield, able to get the ball in. Pencil Cross is going to choose to pass the ball off to the Stamper. It gets in, down to 50. Excellent gameplay here out of Lego Fortnite, really showing their control over the stage and using their range really well.
Stamper always has more range than I think it does. It always catches me by surprise, and they're just doing such a good job of really using it to its full potential here.
They are, but the Ultra Stamp comes out, finds one, going to clear space on the plat, looking to find another. The 52 Gal forced to back off. A jump coming in with another power clam. They've got a lot of clams on deck, but the Booyah Bomb finds plenty.
That was a perfect Booyah. Saw the bubble, saw the clam. People were probably jumping, just stopping that real quick.
Yeah, there's certain things that you do have to put an end to as quick as you notice them, and that was definitely one of those situations, holding on to the lead by their teeth there with that Booyah Bomb. And now, Shadowbox still has control of mid. Lego Fortnite going to have to try and break back in to really stabilize this game as the Ultra Stamp comes out looking to cause some chaos.
You see one pick from the Ultra Stamp, so that's going to give Shadowbox their opening right there. However, we do see one go down on Shadowbox. Another trade between the Stamper and the Bucket. Shadowbox not really able to find an opening right here. With Lego Fortnite taking a bit more mid-control than probably Shadowbox is comfortable with.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're thrilled with it, especially since they do still need to get more pushes in to make this happen. We're seeing Niche on that 52 Gal, sharking in mid, now having to lay down a bit of turf, keeping that Snipe Rider distracted and busy, really reminding us that at its core, 52 Gal is a nuisance of a weapon, but able to try and lock down this plat using the help of their Snipe Rider, able to find the pick onto the power clam. That's absolutely huge.
And just like that, we see Lego Fortnite trying to recover mid, try and get back some of the control that they lost from Shadowbox popping 3 of their ultimates, and it's like Lego Fortnite about has it back. We do see the 52 Gal go down, but that pencil on Shadowbox is just doing an excellent job of making sure Lego has no control.
Yeah, the Snipe Rider really doing what they can to lay down turf, keep them really pushed back. Lego Fortnite doing a great job of also not overextending and risking losing too much space, shutting down that Slosher's attempt at breaking in there. And right now, Lego Fortnite's just really locking down their plat, trying to keep it under control. The tent shield doing what it can to push things back further. Not quite close enough to the basket, just barely missing. The roller jumps in, finds a trade. Mid is still solidly in control of Shadowbox. They still have a power clam ready, but they're just so divided and split up. I don't know how they make this happen.
They are. They're just... Shadowbox right now is attacking from multiple angles, just trying to find a opening perhaps Lego's not looking for, but Lego is doing such a good job of making sure any possible way Shadowbox could get in is at least being looked at by someone, and if they see someone, they're just collapsing so quickly.
And the Booyah Bomb comes out, manages to find the power clam holder, but they're now going to try and make this cross. The 52 having to drop for them, looking to clean it up. They go down. The roller gonna have to back off, make another power, but I think it's too late.
You do have the power, so it does extend overtime, but it's just not enough. Overtime is automatically over after, is it 30 seconds, even if there's a power clam?
It's something like that, yeah. Unless no clams have been scored throughout the entire game, in which case it can go up to like 8 minutes. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We haven't seen that happen since before the game officially launched, I believe. So hopefully we don't have to see it again ever.
I also play solo queue Clamblitz Undertow. So.
Oh, why would you do that?
Sometimes you don't have anything else better to do.
No, surely there's better things to do. I know you have Slay the Spire too. That's better. But moving forward, right now we're 1-1. Like I said, way more back and forth of a set. Really exciting. And TC Hagglefish should really keep that energy going. It can be a very back and forth kind of stage in terms of how pushes go.
Yeah. So we did see Shadowbox win round one, the first map, Splatzone's Mako, and then Lego FORTNITE took it back with Clamblitz on Museum. So both different maps and modes, obviously. It'll be interesting to see who do we think is going to benefit more from this game mode and map, Tower Control Hagglefish, from what we've seen from both teams.
Yeah, personally, I would lean towards Shadowbox doing better on the what I call set pace modes, which are things like Splat Zones and Tower Control. The objective moves at the pace the objective moves at. You can't speed it up, you can't slow it down. It just moves how it moves. And you simply need to work with it and adapt to it. Whereas Clamblitz or Rainmaker tend to be a bit more reactive. There are bigger openings that you can take bigger swings on. But at the end of the day, Splatoon just comes down to what is your best push, not who made the most of them.
It all comes down to how close did you get this tower to the enemy's base at any point within the past 5 minutes.
And it should be exciting to see what happens here. Not expecting any major composition change-ups. Should be sticking pretty similar. We are seeing a switch over to that blaster, though. Should be a really good switch for this particular stage. Definitely plays really well around all of these angles. The big bubbler will be nice to have. The auto bomb will be useful. And we are seeing a switch over to the Zuka Splatana, which I don't know the last time I saw that one in comp.
Yeah, I've rarely ever seen this Splatana that honestly, if you ask me what it had, I would not be able to tell you off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's definitely not one we see every day. It's very effective, though. The roller getting shut down there, but does manage to find the Tentabrella in the mess of it all. Really neutral opening so far, though. No significant swings on either side. A couple players going down here and there, but overall, we have not seen much movement yet.
Shadowbox just trying to slowly inch this tower forward for now. Maybe try and get out some specials from Lego. We do see that roller just trying to hold around the area with their big bubbler.
Yeah, really useful to be able to do that. Big bubbler definitely can help make a difference on a stage like this. Probably a reason both teams are using it. And it seems like we are going to be seeing a flank coming out from that Splatana, called out quickly by the blaster, allowing them to just keep things calm, cool, collected, and under control. The roller attempting to get away with something over there, getting noticed, going through mid, able to find one, does go down in the process. The tower, essentially on both sides, has not really moved. We haven't cleared a checkpoint yet, and we're already a minute and a half in.
Well, Tinkerbell almost bumped off there, but was able to not be, but was still taken down. Back quickly, though. Just see both teams just trying to get some control of mid right now. Maybe a pick, some sort of opening. We're seeing some specials being charged and used.
Yeah, specials definitely are going to make a big difference here. Shadowbox finding the opportunity to make a push now, hopefully going to be able to clear a checkpoint. They do need to make sure to get some pressure set up on that top right, but they've already found a pick onto the blaster. They have a Zuka at the ready and a Wiper being quite a menace and just creating so much distraction, allowing them to clear that first checkpoint. And the Slosher likely just going to try and dance around the tower, try and eke out a few extra points here.
Looks like our push for Shadowbox is going to end at a respectable 55. Good for halfway through the game. Not sure if it's going to be enough to secure them the win.
Yeah, it's definitely a stage where that can vary a lot, but the roller finds one, finds three, looking for the fourth, not able to find it, but cleaned up by Alex, Rocky, and Lewis. And now we're going to see Shadowbox just quickly go back to the positions they were in, really focusing on getting this all back under control. They're going to have trip strikes ready to keep this hold going, as well as a tacticooler. This could be a big push.
Yep, and they've already burned through that first checkpoint, so they're going to get back to 55 real quick. And before you know it, we're going to be in the 40s, maybe? We just have 2 down on Lego. Looks like Shadowbox's push is still going well. We had the big bubbler popped in the top right to try and stall out that tower.
And another big bubbler coming out from the roller here. The blaster just barely poking into it, able to find the splat, but a push all the way to 42. Not anything to sneeze at, as the pencil just gonna try and get away with their life, quite frankly. And a little potential risk of overextension here out of Lego FORTNITE.
Looks like the overextension paid off. They were able to pick off that pencil for a little bit, maybe give them some breathing room, but it looks like there might have been a counter collapse on them after the fact.
Yeah, the thing with those big swings is they can have big consequences, even if you get the initial goal you want. Definitely didn't keep Shadowbox out of mid here. They're probably going to be focusing a lot on keeping this mid control, making sure they have a special ready for the end of game. They have a couple decent GG specials between the Zuka and the triple ink strikes. I can't imagine the Slosher is going to hold them until the end of the game, but I could be wrong.
And we do see that Slosher go down, and Lego FORTNITE is going to be starting their push. It's like the pin on Shadowbox's side is about to get tactical, so we might start to see a dive from Shadowbox's side to try and stop this tower from reaching 41.
And it seems like we have. They rushed to the tower, the triple ink strikes coming out, keeping them off of it just long enough to try and stall it out more, but the Neo Bomb comes out, the lead's going to switch.
And that is now Lego FORTNITE is officially winning the game. Shadowbox is going to have to push this tower to 38 to win the game.
It's definitely doable. A few players go down. There is a Wiper looking to cause some chaos here, though. Sorry, a Tentabrella. They've grabbed the tower. This should be the game going to them. An excellent job there from Lego FORTNITE to find the last-minute push that they needed.
That was a great push. If you asked me, like, with a minute 30 left, who was favored to win the game, I would have definitely said Shadowbox. So very good for Lego FORTNITE being able to work together, get that few picks, and push that tower all the way into the 30s.
Well, yeah, and it also really highlights the importance of, especially later in the game, knowing that you need to stay up, knowing that you need to value keeping players up to be able to keep control of mid, because we saw a lot of members of Shadowbox go down, which allowed Lego FORTNITE to claim that space and kept them from having the specials ready to reclaim the tower. Whereas if they had focused a little bit more on survival, that might not have happened. So it'll be interesting to see if any approaches change going into Clam Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime.
So we've already seen both teams play Clam Blitz before. Great gameplay. But how do you feel Clam Blitz is going to work playing on Barnacle and Dime as opposed to what we've seen on Museum?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more close quarters fights on Barnacle and Dime, which could lean a little bit more in Shadowbox's favor, taking advantage of that splat roller, taking advantage of that Splatana Wiper to really lock down those ledges, to really lock down those chokes. Definitely a good stage for that. Lego FORTNITE, on the other hand, has shown that they're very capable of making very explosive pushes and really just demanding control over the areas of the stage they need. So I'm very intrigued to see if they change any of their strategies going into this. I imagine that we're probably going to be seeing that 52 gal coming back out here, though.
There it is. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of good uses for Splash Wall here, and Splash Wall and Tent Umbrella together just allows you to really lock down those alleyways, keep some extra control. Seems like we're going for some quick specials here at the opening. And usually the first minute of Clan Blitz is just a lot of skirmishing back and forth in mid as both teams try to vie for some power.
We already see 2 down on Lego Fortnite. Roller from Shadowbox going, and actually Stamper tried to go for a quick ball but was picked off.
Yeah, not quite able to find it. The roller has popped Big Bubbler, allowing the rest of their teammates to keep a little bit more space. But they keep getting forced back just a little bit, split up by the Booyah Bomb. But no players going down. Finally, the Splatana gets picked off. But Lego Fortnite having a really hard time making it out of spawn here.
Some of the angles that the roller can hold on this map are just a little devious. So you really have to be careful of a weapon like that on, especially if they're on the plat right there. One hit and you're out.
Yeah, and we see Lego Fortnite finally find a 2-down situation, able to try and take space with it. The Wiper taking advantage of the tent shield, able to find one, gets taken out by the Snipe Rider. And Lego Fortnite just trying to keep control of mid at this point. Gonna have to back off a little bit to ensure that they don't get wiped out here.
Lego Fortnite just playing a game of trying to keep mid control right now to eventually get a push of that power clan. We do see the roller from Shadowbox being taken off, as well as the Splatana. So could this be Lego Fortnite's opportunity? We see another one go down. Looks like it's about to be. We have a cooler popped for Lego Fortnite, trying to get a path in to throw that power clan. Looks like
it is going to happen. They do manage to get one in. Not a lot else to work with here. The tent having to skirmish, able to find the slosher. They just need to rush to the basket, get a few more in. They do see the roller flank. I think they made the right choice there of valuing getting a couple more clams in. Definitely a hard choice, though. But the Snipe Rider going to be up and able to give jump-ins, allowing that tent to really help lock down mid for their team.
So right now we have Lego Fortnite winning. The push of 71 is decent. Obviously they're winning right now, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to win them the game. Any moderate push from Shadowbox is going to put them in the lead.
Yeah, definitely not going to take a super major push to make that happen. The roller going to have this big bubbler at the ready too. Should enable this to be quite a successful push, with the Booyah Bomb potentially being popped a little too early there, because it could have been used to really take care and clean up this big bubbler, but it does not matter if you just find all the splats you need.
That's going to be 3 down on Shadowbox. It's going to give Lego Fortnite a good opportunity to get back mid control and maybe even potentially start a counter push with the 2 power clams that both the Tent Umbrella and the Pencil have.
Yeah, those 2 power clams definitely would give them a much more secure lead, but 2 players go down. The Snipe Rider looking and able to trade out the Tent Umbrella there. The roller trying to move forward, getting spotted by that Snipe Rider, forces them to back off. But now there's a roller lurking around mid, which is never a fun situation to be in for the other team.
See a Booyah Bomb go out, possibly just a stall for a little bit, give Shadowbox some more time to just able to paint mid. We see the Bucket trying to go for a push, but was unable to find anyone. Tacticaler out from Shadowbox, but with 1 down, gonna have to wait for their Bucket preferably before they push in.
Yeah, they're really going to want to use this big bubbler to set up this push and make it happen. The Booyah Bomb clearing space, the roller able to sneak in, pop that bubbler. Now we're going to see potentially a chance for Shadowbox to find something here, but they weren't able to utilize that big bubbler the way it seems that they were wanting to. Goji goes forward, able to trade the Pencil, absolutely massive. But it's just such a skirmishy situation. It's players going down left and right. It's a real ink bath out there.
Yes, we do see the power clan being picked up by the Pencil. They do get the score. They just need a few clams to take lead, and Shadowbox is now currently in the lead, but they have gone 3 down. And this is going to be the start of a massive counter push by LEGO Fortnite.
It looks like it might be. They already found the slosher. The Tentabrella rushing forward. It will not take much for them to take this lead. The power clam goes in. The Tentabrella still there, has a tent shield ready, able to grab the lead. 3 seconds left to go. But you never know. The overtime clock is ticking. And there we go.
Yeah. Stamage is able to swim through there, pick up a single clam, and end overtime right there. Unfortunate event for Shadowbox. They just had to try and get that score in at the last point to try and take the lead for there, but unfortunately for them, that left them susceptible to a huge counter push when they were respawning from that push.
Yeah, it can definitely be worth it to wait until the last possible moment to make your final push so that counter push doesn't have time to get off the ground. But it's very risky to play that way, and LEGO Fortnite did an excellent job of taking advantage of the opportunity given to them, cleaning it up, and just really excelling there. And so we're going to be going into Darklord PGE versus LEGO Fortnite. Should be an exciting one.
It should be. These are both teams we've already seen play before, so we're already about some of their comps and what to look forward to here.
Yeah. And Darklord PGE, once again, exceptionally well-known players that have been around the scene for forever now, for at least as long as we have. Well, maybe not as long as you, CCAM.
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit of a senior citizen in the scene, but, it's...
Well, you did play in the first ever Splatoon tournament.
I did, and what a mess that was, but...
Did it ever finish?
I don't think it did. I don't think it ever finished. I don't think Intersync ever finished.
There could be a Wikipedia page on it that has the answers.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I think it took a month. I think it did finish, but it took like a month.
I think what I remember K-Bot saying at some point is that it never did. But I think either of you could be right. You've both been around long enough. And it should be interesting to see how these two teams do on a decidedly less antiquity-based... Well, on an antiquity-based stage, actually. There's ancient Egyptian concepts in there, it looks like. I'll run with it.
So we're starting off on Splatzone's Umami. So we already watched Clan Blitz Umami. So it's going to be interesting how the teams use this map geometry in their favor for holding mid as opposed to having to push up all the way to plat. Of course, you can always push up to plat if you want to, but in Splat Zones, you only have to hold mid. You don't have to push past mid to actually get points. As long as you cover the zone, you're good, as opposed to Clan Blitz. You have to make yourself a lot more vulnerable, I guess would be a good word.
Also, I have a hunch that something could be a little off on our stage listing, unless I'm just losing my mind, which is also possible, but I imagine that we're probably not going to Zones Umami and also Clan Blitz Umami, potentially. But I could be wrong. I could well be wrong. I am often wrong. That could be what's happening, and that's okay. But the other fun thing... Okay, okay, good. I'm glad I was correct on that one. We are not going to Umami twice. Either way, there was a chance to be... Huh? Oh, fascinating. We are going to Umami twice. Fascinating to me.
Playing a lot of Umami today, so I'm getting the practice.
Sometimes you got to get those reps in. In Slot Zones Umami.
Depending on how this set goes, we may or may not even play Clan Blitz Umami.
That's true. Hopefully we'll have enough back and forth to get there, but you do never know. And Umami Zones is always an interesting one. It's like the only dual zones map we use in competitive play these days. We have forsaken all of the rest of them to the untouchable maps zone, which is fine. But I really like dual zones. I think they emphasize a lot of control and a lot of team-based play from these players, and I think it'll be interesting to see how they approach that.
I always like playing dual zones maps because well, first of all, I play Tetris. I should probably put that out there. But just being able to go to their zone, pull attention, and that gives your team the opportunity to cap your zone and kind of pincer is always a really good technique if you're able to do it.
Yeah, it also allows you to have a lot of extra time to stall if you need it. Because if you just have one zone and hold it, if you have the lead, you're pretty set. You're pretty content. You're not thrilled, but you're content. And so it'll be interesting to see how teams approach that, getting closer to the end of the game there. I also think it'll be interesting to see how Bandit on the more E-Leader and Splat Charger type weapons ends up playing into that Snipe Rider that we've been seeing.
It's going to possibly depend on so many things, actually. Just map geometry, if they're playing E-Leader, Splat Charger, just what's going to be the most effective tactic available to me with my teammates for it.
Did you just say the actual thing that meta stands for? That's wild.
Most effective tactic available?
Yeah, nobody says those. Nobody says the real words. That's wild.
Fun fact, viewers, the meta is actually a acronym.
I knew that. I just wasn't expecting to hear the words said. But it will be interesting. It'll be fun to see how it goes. I imagine that we might see Bandit go back to that camo Splat Charger here, taking advantage of the Crab Tank since they did that previously on Clan Blitz, but I wouldn't be shocked to see a leader come out. Leaders come out more on zones, and outranging the Snipe Rider is a very useful tool in terms of really limiting LEGO Fortnite's paint.
It really is. I mean, just the recent meta of E-Leader and just how it's shot up the ranks when it's always been played has been a really interesting phenomenon to see.
Yeah. I'm never upset when E-Leader's not seeing the most play, but it's fun to get to watch them. And it'll be an adventure to see how Darklord PGE plays into LEGO Fortnite here. And we are going to be on that Firefin Splat Charger. Nothing too shocking about that. The Splat Wall and Ink Strikes, definitely great here. And it'll be interesting to see how that Tetra and Tent deal with each other, filling pretty similar roles.
Yeah. Both trying to draw attention, just in completely different ways.
Yes. The Tetra has already gone down, but nothing new there. Goji looking to claim some space, lay down some turf, able to help find a nice splat there. And we're seeing LEGO Fortnite having a pretty solid opening, cleaning up a lot as they need to, and maybe finally capping both zones? Maybe? Perhaps? Maybe not.
Looks like it possibly.
Well, there they go.
Splat right now. There we go.
You know, the splats eventually lead to a zone cap usually. If the other team stands in the zones, it happens even faster.
Yeah.
But
Goji, right in the zone, we tell you in zone, we'll just keep the zone covered. Easy.
Exactly. LEGO Fortnite doing an excellent job of really keeping their space, not overextending. IPS laying down some ink there, allowing Darklord PGE to try and neutralize and eventually cap both zones. 2 players down. Darklord PGE gonna be looking to rush forward now. That's penciling quite the situation. Does manage to get out of it, though. Just barely. Sometimes you just sneak out of there at the last second. But Darklord PGE definitely moving up quickly. And Vexen does get picked off, but it definitely did buy some time for Darklord PGE.
We do see the strike come out from Darklord trying to stall for a bit. LEGO able to cap their zone, but it's like Darklord able to paint right over it, able to pick off the Stamper on LEGO as well as, and that's just like that, was 3 down on LEGO.
Yeah, and with only 40-ish ticks left on the timer, that's not long left for LEGO Fortnite to try and break in. They keep getting splatted time after time. It's just the Tent and the Snipe Rider, definitely worst weapons to be left up, but the Snipe Rider gets found. The Tent looking to try and rush forward, but the 52 gal and the Charger using their wall to trap that Tent over there, not allowing any forward momentum. There's a Booyah Bomb. It'll be outpainted. And that's the game going to Darklord PGE after a bit of a slightly rocky opening. They got through mid and then claimed all the space they needed.
I said before the match, for splat zones, you can just hold mid, keep that comfortable. That is not what Darklord PGE did there. They took zone and they made sure to rush at the other team, knowing that in splat zones, it's a passive objective. If you get a trade and you're currently controlling zone, that is extremely good for you.
It is. I think as long as you're in the lead in splat zone and it won't result in a wipeout, a trade is usually in your favor, which is an interesting situation to be in. And we are going to be going to Clamblitz Scorch Gorge next. Should be pretty interesting for that Tentabrella Goji to play on.
Tentabrella has always seemed really strong on Scorch Gorge on that elbow right before the basket.
Completely agree. It's definitely really great there. It allows you to just really brute force situations. That being said, that's a lot harder to do when there's continuously a 52 gals wall breaking your tent shield. 52 gal has been something, well, splash wall into tent has always been a rough matchup for tent. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach that here, because that tent really couldn't do its job last game. And we are seeing that Firefin Charger coming back out here. A little surprised it's not the crab one, but not too shocked. No other major changes coming out. The Blaster should be able to do some good work here around these ledges. But once again, just not a lot of turf to work with for LEGO Fortnite, and Darklord PGE has a lot more ink that they can lay down and really gain control over the stage.
So we have both coolers out on both sides, so we're probably going to see a lot of trades here. We have 3 down on LEGO Fortnite, 1 going down from Darklord, but they both have coolers. We'll be back in a
Blaster's
bit. But we
just
do
better.
have a score already for Darklord, but looks like there's not really going to be any follow-up on that potential counter push from LEGO right here.
Yeah, I mean, that Blaster just really changed what was happening in the game there. Really made it so that LEGO Fortnite had this opportunity, able to keep finding more. Just had another double, found the third, found a fourth. They are single-handedly keeping this push alive, giving their teammates a chance to jump in, allowing the clams to rush into this basket. They're going to get below 60, and they have another power clam that should be able to make it in. Wow!
That was an amazing display of aim by that Blast.
Yeah, definitely not a move we'd usually recommend, but if you know you have it, sometimes you're just better. Sometimes you are simply better for a moment. And their Blaster did an excellent job of demonstrating that idea. IPS has a power clam at the ready. Darklord PGE going to be looking to try and set up a push here. Probably going to use a reef slider to initiate it.
Fortunately, the 52 gal does get picked off. Or we do get another pick on LEGO Fortnite, so it's about even right now. We're seeing those strikes being thrown in. Is this going to be an opening for Darklord to push? Doesn't look like we're going to be taking those strikes as an opportunity. But
yeah,
just try and hold mid, but that's 3 down on Darklord.
Yeah, Darklord not able to find what they need there. Zombie on that Tetra looking to try and move forward. The tent popping the Zuka behind their shield, then backing off. And the Tetra now going to rush in, but the tent kind of shuts them down pretty effectively. Charger finds one, looking for another. Able to force the tent to have to jump out. Mid back in the control of Darklord PGE, giving them the chance to start setting up for another push. But we're 2.5 minutes in, and they have yet to have a real pushing opportunity.
Does look like almost all of LEGO Fortnite is always going to be looking on that right side, just trying to hold it down. We do see a brief slider come out, but not able to pick anyone off.
And the 52 gal forced to jump out. The Zuka found 2, putting Darklord PGE really on the back foot. The 52 gal doing what they can to skirmish in mid, trying to keep control, but that Blaster is just out for blood right now and getting continuous pick after pick. The Stamper moving forward with this Tentabrella shield, really taking advantage of the strengths of both of those weapons, but not able to find another push. But right now, if you're LEGO Fortnite, you're not that worried about finding another push. You're worried about keeping Darklord PGE from getting anything done.
That is correct. You just want... If I was in LEGO Fortnite shoes right now, I just want to make sure mid is just covered and just not able to give Darklord any room to breathe.
Yeah, I mean, the denial of time and the denial of space are the key aspects that allow you to win in these Splatoon games. And it really shows how important that is. Because we haven't seen LEGO Fortnite try and set up another major push. They found their major push. Splatoon is a game about your best push, not about how many pushes you have. Sure, would they like to make another big one? Absolutely. Is it worth risking getting wiped out for? No. Especially with just under a minute left. There's not a point in taking major risks when you're able to keep finding splats like this.
You have two down on Darklord. LEGO looks like they're taking this opportunity to try and get another push in. They get through their penalty pretty quickly, and now we're counting down their action score. At 30, we're going to try and get this Booyah Bomb out to try and continue the push. Tetris dives, but unable to get anything. Now in the 20s here, Penn has a few more clams, and we only need 3 more to end the game, but Oh, and Goji's coming in with them right now. Is he going to be able to get them in after he throws that tent shield? Yes.
And really exceptional play there from LEGO Fortnite. That blaster enabling a push, an initial push that probably shouldn't have happened how it did, but that was like 2 quads in a row. So I think if you get 2 quads in a row, you can get a push that shouldn't happen. I think that's fair, actually. Really excellent job there for taking advantage of the opportunities given, not overextending at any points. I don't think we ever saw them get fully wiped out, which really sets the tone for how they were playing.
I never saw the wipe out appear, and especially with both cores on each team and the high level both of these teams are playing, the pace is just astronomical.
Yeah, definitely really fast-paced gameplay. What we hope to see out of teams playing in finals of SOS. And we're going to be going over to Tower Control Ship Shape Cargo next. Always an interesting one, very snowbally. I'd say there's a chance that whoever finds that first big push here will just take the game.
This doesn't seem like there's too many or as much re-entry options on this map as there are some, so the snowball opportunity is especially true here.
And we are seeing a switch over to that E-Leader on the side of Darklord PGE, going to be taking advantage of Respawn Punisher here too, so that is a dangerous thing to deal with. IPS trying to paint for a quick cooler, and also just laying down space for that 52 gal and Tetra. Admittedly, both very self-sufficient weapons, part of why they're able to get away with having something like an E-Leader on the team.
After trying to dive into LEGO Fortnite side, unable to get anything picked off. Alright, was that a collab from the E-Leader?
I believe so. I believe so. And now the blaster is getting chased down. Does manage to find the direct in the process. Tetra trying to clean it up. Does force the jump out. Tetra goes down. Not too concerned about it in this moment. The Chargers are poking at each other as they do. E-Leader makes the good choice of backing off. Going to be able to allow jump-ins for their teammates. Tetra tapping the tower, going to see what they can get away with. Trying to find the pick on Goji, but just...
by the Tentebrella.
You know, that's one of the joys of Tentebrella, is bumping your teammates or the enemy team off the stage.
Can't argue with that. We do see that cooler come out from the pin on the Fortnite side, trying to get a push started. Oh, we did see a similar cooler come for Darklord, so about any fight that happens within past few seconds, they're going to be back in a flash. We have 2 down from Darklord. Looks like LEGO Fortnite is going to still be able to push this well into the 50s. And I think the snowball you started to talk about is about to happen.
I believe so. They're in a really great situation here to just try and keep this momentum rolling. The Zuka comes out looking to try and find that E-Leader. Not able to. One last Zuka shot to go. Not able to deal with the flank that came through mid from that 52 gal. And now we have a pinch coming in between the Zap and the Tetra to some degree. Able to find 1. Able to find 3. Just the Sniper Rider left up. This is Darklord PGE's chance to find the momentum they need to do the snowball themselves.
Hits on their plow. There's about 3 or 4 of them there. Tetra trying to dive when it's picked off. So the pencil picked off the gal as well. This getting a little scary for Darklord PGE, but looks like the Tetra was able to get another one on their jump back in.
They were, and that was a checkpoint cleared. Definitely helps out a good bit. This really puts the game in a much more neutral situation. They find a pick onto the Snipe Rider, able to pinch the blaster. And now Vexen trying to set up on this left side. That's a full wipeout. This is Darklord PGE's chance. They're going to want to focus on gaining as much map control as they can. And they have a Reef Slider to help out here, which is a little bit scary, I'm sure, for LEGO Fortnite.
We're really low on specials on LEGO Fortnite side, looking to recharge them. Closest one is that Stamper, about to have theirs, but they're able to get the lead back before LEGO Fortnite was even able to pop a special.
They were, the Snipe Rider, able to find a good pick onto the E-Leader. IPS dancing on the tower, now chasing down that Snipe Rider, not able to find the pick, but able to get the tower down to 28. 28's a pretty solid push here, not through that last checkpoint, but pretty solid push nonetheless. LEGO Fortnite painting up mid, looking to grab as much control as they can and get those specials online to make a big counter push of their own.
We're out on LEGO Fortnite. We're trying to find a pick here, have some fighting in the pit. Looks like the Zaptrap jumps out. Going for some trades. 2 down on LEGO Fortnite. 3 down. That's probably the end of the push right there.
Yeah, I believe so. Darklord PGE doing an excellent job of finding the splats when they need them, really playing cleanup very well, and making sure that enough of their players stay up in the process, but 2 go down. Goji looking to try and rush forward for LEGO Fortnite, trying to claim as much space as they can, something that Tentabrella is exceptionally good at. 3 specials online, traded the E-Leader. Pretty solid trade, but will it be enough to allow them to claim the lead here?
This might give LEGO Fortnite some breathing room until we would be able to push up, but I'm not. We only need 2 more points. Booyah Bomb for cover. They're able to take it.
They are. They managed to start breaking through that checkpoint, not able to clear it. IPS fighting the Stamper, able to find that splat. They're going to need to claim as much of left side as they can here, though, and with a Snipe Rider already set up there, that's going to be quite the challenge. But the Tetra finds a way in, uses this Reef Slider, finds another. This is a great opportunity here for Darklord PGE to potentially get the lead back, but the tower only moves so fast.
So fast. They're trying to get some hits off there, but they don't see the pin on left that was able to pick them off. Someone's going to have to ride tower for at least another 10 points on PGE's side. Tetra falls off, and that's a wipeout. This game is going to be going to LEGO Fortnite.
Yeah, LEGO Fortnite did an excellent job there of finding the pushes they need and then finding the splats to go along with it. A really great job of maintaining that control. And the Snipe Rider, honestly, hitting a pretty clutch 2 shots on the leader there at the end. If that had gone differently, if that had even been a trade, that would have been a very different endgame situation. Because the leader adds so much stability into Darklord PGE's comp.
Just a leader being there, being present in the map, it changes how you have to play around cover or how fast you can go around objects. It's always in the back of your mind.
It is.
That, there's a leader on the other team. Especially if there's one as good as this.
Yes.
It absolutely affects how you have to play the game. Which sometimes it's even more of an effect than actually getting the picks are.
I would disagree there. I'd say if you're a leader not hitting the vast majority of your shots, it's very detrimental for your team. But that's a whole separate conversation that I have too many thoughts and opinions on. But we're going to be going into another Clan Blitz game here. These games have been so back and forth. I'm very intrigued to see how they go about it. And I'm intrigued to see how LEGO Fortnite does, keeping them at bay yet again. We're going to be on Barnacle and Dime, so luckily not
back
too
to the
mommy.
splatter scope here from the E-Leader.
Yeah, that crab tank is definitely really useful on a stage like this. Gives you a little extra protection, gives you a little extra security. And I'd say that Bandit's generally more comfortable on that splat charger than the E-Leader traditionally. Definitely something we've seen Bandit on more.
Looks like we do have 2 coolers out in both teams. So, trying to play quickly, get some picks. 2 down on LEGO Fortnite, 3 down. So Darklord PGE is really going to try and get going. But the team gets back so fast with that cooler out. Looks like they're probably only going to be able to get into the high mid-60s before collapsing.
Yeah, which not ideal, but not terrible. The 52 gal rushing to try and make sure they lose as little as mid as possible. Able to find 2, looking for a third. Going to keep dancing and dashing around, using the high mobility of that 52 gal to really keep some control. And that fully allowed Darklord PGE to keep control over mid and really make it harder for LEGO Fortnite to try and stage a counter push. If anything, like completely preventing it and putting it back in more of a neutral situation.
Usually after these pushes, there's counter pushes, but 52 gal was just able to get there so quickly and shut both of that down with 4 bullets.
Yeah, yes, the privilege of 52 gal. The crab tank came out, helped to shred that big bubbler. Tetra able to use Reef Slider to find one. Just the Snipe Rider left up and gets taken out in the process. A push all the way down to 20. Really explosive there. And I think the the Splat Charger and the NZAP making a great choice here of not trying to keep it going, no, we'd rather have mid. We know we are in the lead right now. We don't need to risk everything.
Mid control and a 80-point lead, that's hard to beat.
It is. There are 3 minutes left to go, though, so plenty of time for LEGO Fortnite to try and stage something in the process. Trades coming out back and forth. Players going down on both sides. LEGO Fortnite trying to use the last remnants of this big bubbler to claim some space, but not going to be able to succeed at it, as they are just really stuck over here on this stat.
I do see a pick on the Charger from Darklord, but we still have the front lines holding it down. LEGO Fortnite,
Yeah.
apprehensive to move forward, knowing they can be picked off by any of those front lines. But we do see both the Tetra and the 52 gal go down.
Yeah, Tetra and 52 gal going down is definitely the offensive side of Darklord PGE being taken off of the table. Crab Tank comes out, though, looks to get shredded, but doesn't quite. The Crab Tank did an excellent job there of drawing the Zuka's aggro and allowing the rest of Darklord PGE to collapse in, clean up that Tentabrella, and really lay down the turf they need to keep control over the stage and maintain their composure, because they really don't need to take big swings here. Obviously, they want to get pushes in. Always better to be pushing than not. But at this point, it can be just as much about eating time out of the game as it can be about getting more points on the board.
Tetra almost trying to go for a Reef Slider, not able to pick off anyone and unable to get the cooler jump out to 2 down on Darklord. But with the coolers out, they're going to be back just in time to stop LEGO Fortnite's push past mid.
Or try to. 2 players have gone down. The Crab Tank shreds the Booyah Bomb, but the Blaster able to find another pick. Forced to go back off a little bit, but right now LEGO Fortnite's in the best position they've been in, looking to potentially get a good push off. The 52 gal drops, looking for one, able to get trapped in the bubble of that Blaster. And 2 power clams going in, getting them down to 60 with a minute left to go.
A much better spot than they were a few seconds ago, but we still have to make sure that counter gets below 20 by the end of the game if we want LEGO Fortnite to win. It looks like we're doing a good job of holding pressure, but a great snipe from Darklord's team.
Yeah, Darklord PGE able to keep that basket shut just long enough, but LEGO Fortnite kept mid there, allowing them to really rush back in, not needing to hesitate. And they had power clams. They had a power clam at the ready. They're finding more splats. I imagine they're probably just looking for the right opportunity to rush in and try and force this with 2 power clams. That gets them pretty close to the lead.
Does get them pretty close to the lead, but we also, with those 2 power clams, becomes knowing where half of the other team is at all points. That makes you a very big target. But
It does. The tent manages.
It doesn't look like it matters.
No, that is the joy of Tentabrella. But Goji's still there, looking to try and go back and grab another. Using that Zuka, maybe the wrong call, but that's a wipeout. That's us going to a game 5. I
Game
don't.
5, Great White SOS.
Always exciting. Love to see a finals that ends in a game 5. These teams are so closely matched. It's so back and forth. It feels like when they find their opportunities, both of these teams really sink their teeth in and don't let go, to the point where they are doing a great job of making sure players stay up after the push to actually keep it under control.
We can look right here. Goji's opportunity to try and get that power play in. Unfortunately, it was not successful.
Yeah, great job there out of Darklord PGE for finding their opportunity and really taking it to the fullest. And we're going to be going over to Splat Zone's Robo Roman. Should be a very interesting one here. I am intrigued to see how these teams will approach this.
This is always a very interesting map for me to watch and both spectate. Something about the Splat Zone maps feels different than other maps, but I can never quite put it into words.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot more alternative entrances than a lot of the other stages have. We don't always see them used very effectively, but it has them. There's more levels to the stage, and the top and bottom are more disconnected than it usually is. And so that should play into how these teams approach this. Blasters and shooters definitely have a really great time here, quite frankly. So I imagine the 52 Gal will be quite active. And if they stick with that blaster, it'll be able to put in some good work for them.
All right, here we go. Game 5, Grand Finals, Great White of SOS 232.
Always exciting to see how this will go. We're back over to that Firefin Splat Charger. Oh, sorry, that ZF Splat Charger. My bad. But it does a great job of really helping keep the turf up for their team. Gonna have to back off here, though, with enough players down and their elbow quickly getting rushed.
2 down on by Darklord before the cooler could even go out, so there's going to be some longer respawn times.
They are. Those longer respawn times allowed LEGO Fortnite to really get into their spawn, really claim that space. It's definitely a stage where you can get very locked in, but a jump in from the from the NZAP, able to cause some chaos. Tries to lay down some turf, did at least drag people out of their spawn, giving them a chance to try and flip this zone. Looks like they might not be able to, though. They're just not able to find the turf they need, which is surprising.
The Tetris trying to go for a flank underneath on left. Reflying to get out of there, that was close. Trying to find an off angle to just thin the crowd over here over LEGO Fortnite, but they are unrelenting.
They are. LEGO Fortnite truly is unwilling to let their foot off of the gas right now, and it's working out for them so far. It's always risky to play like that, but when it works exceptionally well. Splatoon is a very momentum-based game, so if you can keep finding splat after splat, it puts you in such an excellent position. They're able to find the blaster. The Tetra does go down. Both teams skirmishing for mid yet again, but LEGO Fortnite distinctly at a firm advantage here.
They do have a reslide from the Tetra, not able to pick off anyone. I don't think Tetra does go down. Control of the zone goes to Darklord for now. Not sure if they know about this umbrella on the left. Now they do, definitely getting out of there. And with that, Darklord firmly holds into the LEGO Fortnite space for now.
They do, and that's a lot of points getting on the board for them. Not quite enough to take lead yet, and the Booyah Bomb coming out with this tent, going to be able to really pressure them away from the zone. The big bubbler comes out, allowing LEGO Fortnite to claim the zone. The blaster trying to dash around the stage, but the charger is splatting them before they get too much more damage in.
Trip Strike's forcing the pen to back up for at least a little bit, but doesn't look like that's going to give enough time for Darklord to actually do anything. LEGO Fortnite still has the zone. Going through their penalty pretty quick.
They are, and it looks like they're going to be trying to keep it going. That Booyah Bomb comes out, but the zone flipped, the penalty reapplied, and Darklord PGE looking to try and claim some control back. The Reef Slider able to find one, not able to find the second, but gets cleaned up by a teammate, putting Darklord PGE in a better position than they have been, And they're getting close to 3 penalty, and they don't need a lot more to get lead. But they do need to find a way to keep LEGO Fortnite from breaking in, and those triple ink strikes might just be the way.
Getting close with some special on LEGO Fortnite side. We can expect to see them soon to try and push back in. But the Blaster and Stamper is ready. The Booyah is going to initiate for them. Will they be able to find something about with this?
It seems like it. They were able to regain control of mid. They do need to find a bit more solid of a hold, though. Goji gets pinched. A great job there. So important to find those opportunities to pinch, especially when you're playing against a tent umbrella like that. I'm a little worried about how clustered up Darklord PGE is, but now they're spreading out, which is vital to do. If you're on top of each other, one wrong move can get you all taken out.
Going for another initiation. Booyah right there. Goji with the special right there. Well, nice direct from the Blaster. Tetris diving, though, was able to be picked off. This, I would say this should give enough time for LEGO Fortnite to get zoned, but this pace that Darklord with the jump-ins is unrelenting.
It is. They're doing an excellent job of keeping it up. Both of these teams play so quickly, without hesitation, able to find the pick on the Tetris. That's really big for them there, but there are triple ink strikes ready to come out and willing to be held. Goji is so in their face, though.
Goji doing a great job stalling.
Yeah, excellent.
Darklord to reinitiate with the strikes, able to get zone back.
Able to get zone back. Just 10 ticks, just 10 seconds left. The zone is back in Darklord PGE's favor. The Reef Slider comes out, finds another, just the Snipe Rider, and that's not going to be enough. Darklord PGE takes the 5th game and the tournament. That's them winning. Swimmer Sink 232.
Great effort from both Darklord and LEGO today. Those are some very high level Splatoon. Love just being able to see what these players are able to do, both on a team and just mechanically, individually. Some of the shots and decisions we saw were just amazing.
Yeah, the Blaster, especially on that Scorch Gorge Clam Blitz game, put in some scary work. They were hitting direct after direct, and they didn't quite find that same energy again, but it definitely seemed like it gave LEGO Fortnite a big pick-me-up. Really gave them some momentum, but it just wasn't quite enough to get them through Robo-Roman with how well Darklord PGE was just able to keep that pace up because of Bandit staying alive on that Splat Charger.
And it does look like, since this went to a game 5, the 3rd place match was also finished. So that was a level pickup versus Shadowbox. Then Shadowbox won.
Yeah, really great job here from all the teams that we saw come out tonight. Always so exciting. I love getting to watch the SOSs every week. They're fantastic, always so well run, always such interesting teams, and also mostly pickups. But it's always a great time.
It is. It's always nice to know that SOS will be there.
It is. And that is going to be it from us today. Seekant, where can they find you?
They can find me over on... I do have a Blue Sky. It's just seekantx.bluesky.social. And where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Blue Sky at NoxRaven42. And thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. And thank you to